This time on Rat and Cat, a mysterious U.S. Navy research station disappears in one of the deepest lakes in North America, stirring old rumors of a cryptic sea beast. Welcome to Rat and Cat, where we search, survive, and explore. I'm Nikia. Not many beyond the locals know about the nondescript Navy facility floating in the middle of the Pend Oreille Lake. Even fewer noticed when it vanished on a cold, wintry day in February 2019. At more than 1,150 feet deep, North Idaho's Pend Oreille Lake is the fifth deepest lake in the United States. This glacier-carved abyss is 43 miles long and covers 148 square miles. In the 1940s, rumors began to surface of a mysterious sea beast disturbing the waters. At the same time, rumors of submarine sightings and a secret submarine base also started to surface. It was several decades before the U.S. Navy admitted to using the expansive body of water for submarine research. Over the years, the secret facility has become more obvious, with larger buildings, regular sightings of peculiar next-gen naval technology, and an understated platform in the open water. We now know its official name is the Naval Surface Warfare Center's Acoustic Research Detachment at Pend Oreille Lake. It houses about a dozen submarines and mini-subs used for testing. In the 1960s, the International Submarine Engineering Group, or ISE, of Canada, also used the lake to test the Pisces 1 minisub, a predecessor of the Pisces 3 minisub. That sub has some notoriety for sinking and resulting in two of the deepest rescues of all time. In one case, two men were rescued from 1,575 feet off an Irish seabed after their Pisces 3 became entangled in a tow line. Lake Pend Oreille is the perfect testing area for new Navy equipment for a couple of reasons. Of course, the unusually deep water makes it the perfect testing ground for a submarine. But more importantly, the landlocked lake makes it more difficult for prying foreign eyes to spy on the facility. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to jump back to those mysterious stories of a sea beast haunting the lake. Like I said, the first sighting was in 1944, and in the 1970s, more stories appeared about the monster. In 1977, a young girl was reportedly attacked by a strange creature near the city beach in Sandpoint, Idaho. Journalists reporting on the attack started calling it the Pend Oreille Paddler. Then, in 1984, North Idaho College professor James R. McLeod conducted an investigation and guessed that in addition to submarine sightings, some of the sightings might be a huge prehistoric-looking sturgeon, perhaps disturbed from the depths below by the Navy's experiments. One of the most peculiar sightings happened in 1985, on Memorial Day, when Julie Green and a friend were out on the lake on a sunny afternoon. The teacher from Coeur d'Alene, Idaho said a large V-shaped wave crossed about 200 yards in front of her boat. There was clearly something ahead of us that was undulating, coming in and out of the water, she said. She put down her boat engine and started to chase it. However, the gunmetal gray object, which was much larger than her 22-foot boat, easily outdistanced her. Could Green have seen a real sea monster? Just as intriguing to me is the idea that the Navy might be experimenting with some sort of a submarine that undulates like a sea serpent. I like that theory. It kind of has a real Jules Verne feel to it. The latest big sighting was in 2007, a photo taken by the River Journal's staff photographer Jay Mock. It was described as something with humps traveling along the surface. At the time, very few people knew about the new stealth Navy ships that were under development, ships like the USS Montgomery. It's an LCS-8 independent-class lateral coat ship, and the USS Zumwalt, a DDG-1000 class guided missile destroyer, which made its maiden voyage in 2015. The latter went massively over budget, and the original order was reduced from 32 ships to just 3. Since then, photos dating from 2005 have surfaced of a very similar-looking ship on Lake Pend Oreille. The Advanced Electric Ship Demonstrator, or CJET, featured an underwater jet propulsion system that was more efficient, more quiet, and more maneuverable than traditional ship propulsion systems. It's obviously a predecessor of these modern warships. It's interesting too if you compare the silhouette of the Sea Jet from 2005 to the 2007 sea monster sighting, it becomes pretty clear what we're seeing. But what about the research platform that disappeared in 2019? When I first heard this story, I was told that Navy officials didn't even know it was gone until local authorities notified them. More recent reports say that the research platform sank rather quickly, and that Navy officials towed it away from its mooring even as it was sinking, because while the platform itself was worth several $million, the research facility that lies below the surface is at least as valuable. You see, below the surface, suspended by buoys from the lake bed, lies a 1,000-foot ring of hydrophones. The hydrophones are so sensitive they can hear raindrops on the surface of the lake more than 1,000 feet above. Experimental mini-subs could be suspended from the barge into the ring or independently run through tests in the area. Because the hydrophones are so sensitive to sound, much of the testing is done at night when there's less boat traffic on the lake. So, how did the platform sink? According to Roxy Thompson Merritt, a spokesperson for the War Center, the incident on February 11 was categorized as a Class A mishap, which indicates either total destruction or damage of more than $2 million. Investigators still aren't sure what capsized the vessel, but they suspect it might have been ice buildup. The weather conditions on Lake Pend Oreille were generally severe leading up to the event, with very cold temperatures and large amounts of accumulated snow and ice on the barge, said Merritt. Still, what attacked the girl as she swam at the city beach? Is there an undulating sea creature that lives in the Pend Oreille? Or is the Navy developing an undulating submarine that moves like a sea creature? We may never know. If you like this video, you might also be interested in a video I made when I came across a strange pulsating light in the Columbia Gorge. It led me to an unexpected military base. And of course, I look forward to reading your stories and thoughts about the Pend Oreille Paddler in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Nikia, and this is Rat and Cat. Get out there, be safe, and enjoy the wild.